Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ebima Mungo. I have always been interested in politics, business, and everything about Africa. Today I want to start my channel with a topic that is raging now, and that is if Nigeria will break up. So in this topic, this video, I'm going to address if Nigeria will break up. This is a pertinent, very pertinent issue, because these days there's so much agitation in Nigeria. There's agitation in the north, there's agitation in the southeast and the southwest. Everybody seems to want to go their own way. But let us address this issue by first of all understanding how the country Nigeria and how many African countries came to be. In the first instance, Nigeria is a historical creation by the colonialists, the British particularly. They created this entity from disparate tribes and disparate peoples who they forced together in the amalgamation of Nigeria as one. These people, when the British and the colonialists were ruling African countries that they created, they ruled they controlled those countries by martial law, by force. But now that they are independent countries, they are expected and they are being told to be democratic. This has created a situation where there's competition among the tribes. There's competition among the tribes for political power, and political power always usually leads to economic power. So this competition has become very, very strong in some countries, particularly countries like Nigeria, countries like even Libya recently. And we even know that even a very new country like South Sudan, they are in crisis now. It has been what has shaped Africa since independence. And we should know that as time goes on, new forces are coming up in the world. Since independence, all the countries that held African countries as their colonial masters have continued to be the main influencers in those countries. So we have countries like Cameroon still being under France, Nigeria still being influenced essentially by Britain, Ghana still being influenced by Britain, and South Africa still influenced by Britain. The French-speaking West African countries remain that way. The main forces have been the colonial forces there. But things are changing. We're having a situation where new players are coming into Africa. China, Russia, America. And this interest, that is larger interest in the world, the geopolitical that has formed the world, are now beginning to come into Africa. They've been there. They created the first, Africa was a victim of the first tensions of geopolitics between the Soviet Union and the West. But it has excavated now that China has become a new force in the world, and China is beginning to stake a claim in Africa for the same resources and the same influence that the British and the old colonial masters have always had. So in this time now, Africa is now a victim of geopolitics, in the sense that now Africa is a theater for most of these geopolitical actions going on in the world. We're passive participants in it. But what has happened is tribes are being played against each other, ethnic groups are being played against each other, because ultimately everybody wants competition. This is replicating all over Africa. We're having crisis all over the continent now. We have crisis not necessarily all over the continent, but in some particular countries where resources and are being fought over. Influence is being fought over. And Nigeria has unfortunately been a victim of this. Many times, many people don't know, democracy simply means there's a lot of tension and a lot of activity during election times, and these activities are not innocent. When you see a lot of ethnic tensions and ethnic talk and religious talk going on during the times of election, it's because of this these interest groups that are playing out. So now, let's talk about my verdict. Will Nigeria survive, or will Nigeria break up? We should understand that history reshapes maps. So many countries have come into being, and many have been reshaped by the changing tides of history. And Nigeria is no different. The forces that shaped and created Nigeria have come and gone, and now it's up to the people who have inherited the entity called Nigeria to make something out of it. The tribes that make up this entity, they should ask themselves, will competition among the tribes be much more worthwhile, or will having a larger entity be better? So these arguments will continue. We don't know who will come and be able to put together the tribes or break them. The verdict here being that if Nigerians don't work together towards a greater Nigeria, it will not be any aberration of history if the country breaks up. I dare say, in the changing and the evolution of history that we are seeing now, who knows? The way Nigeria is now and the way they are going, they might have to realign or merge with one other historical influencer out there. So new geopolitical affiliations might have to be created. But then again, in a worst case scenario, who knows? Nigeria might just even be recolonized. Because the world is changing, and the way we are seeing the world now, the people who colonized many African countries have not gotten weaker, they've only gotten stronger. They've created a historical distance between themselves and the countries that they colonized several centuries ago. The gap between them in military resources, the gap between them in economic resources has even widened. So many African countries are still very vulnerable. We should all understand this, that Africa is much more weaker than they were when they were first colonized. So it might be better that people get beyond their issues and decide if they want to be smaller countries that are homogeneous in tribe, or they want to be one bigger country that is managing several tribes. Only time will tell. If you liked this video, please subscribe and share. I will continue to make more videos each day on issues and topics that are pertinent to Africa. Thank you for watching.